Rob G, there was a lot of playing of the what-if game, I guess. Is that what I would call it? The what-if game and talking about Aaron Rodgers' performance against the Jets?
That's right, because yesterday, Rob Parker, you were celebrating Aaron Rodgers' performance like his name was Aaron Judge. I mean, 22 of 30, 244, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Nothing to sneeze at in a win for the Pittsburgh Steelers against his former team, the New York Jetropolitans.
Don't get too saucy. I think you're getting a little saucy.
But one person who was not excited about what he saw from Aaron Rodgers was, of course, an anonymous coach. Because anytime they got something negative to say, it's always anonymous.
Was that Robert Saleh?
It might have been. It could have been. But the Athletics' Mike Sando, friend of the show.
Don't put my name on this, but
friend of the show, Mike Sando, caught up to a couple of anonymous coaches to get his thoughts on the debut performances of several NFL quarterbacks making their first appearance with a new franchise. So Geno Smith, obviously J.J. McCarthy, his first action, Caleb Wood, goes down the list. Aaron Rodgers, of course, though, is the biggest name, so we got the biggest feature. And in the explanation, an anonymous coach who came away less than impressed with Rodgers had this to say about his performance. Quote, "He cannot get away from the rush anymore, but he can move in the pocket and deliver those wrist flicks accurately with or without his feet on the ground." Rodgers, of course, took 4 sacks, 3 other hits, including a couple that were really jarring hits. The coach continues, "What he has to watch out for, though, is those wrist flicks. They turn in interceptions later in the year. The 4 TDs, what everybody sees, nobody pays attention to the 2 dropped interceptions or the fact that just 4 or 5 years ago, he'd go 5 games without one of those," end quote.
Yeah. My only issue is we could play this what-if game for everybody. I mean, I just like to say dropped in, like this is football. This happens to everybody. Rob G, who do we have on the show from Football Focus? Sam Monson, who said this was the year, what was the year that they went to the Super Bowl, Rob G? And said 2 years ago, Patrick Mahomes had the most interception worthy. Is that what it was deemed? Like
Turnover worthy.
Turnover worthy. And there's some stat where, a guy should have caught the ball and they look at it and say that should have been an interception or whatever. And I guess you could sit there and play that. There were the 2 people drop. I just watched too many big games. Did you watch Tom Brady against the Kansas City Chiefs, where he threw a game-losing pick and D Ford lined up off sides? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Does anybody go back and go, "Oh, Tom Brady shouldn't have won that Super Bowl because he really shouldn't have. He threw a pick and D Ford lined up like that happened." How about Matthew Stafford? Will we think differently of Matthew Stafford? What's his name? So something Tart.
Sequoski Tart.
From the 49ers. You remember that?
Sequoski
Tart.
That's a name, boy.
I know. But you haven't heard from him. Rob G, did he ever play again?
He was out of the league after that game.
Yeah.
Kelvin, do you remember?
Yeah.
I mean, Stafford threw the ball right to him. You could have thrown that ball 100 times. And you would catch it 100 times. Or at least 90. And he missed it. He dropped it. Like the reaction, and it, of course, opened the door for them to win. So I'm just, sure. Interceptions, it's just a part of the game. You still have to make plays. Yes. People are going to drop interceptions sometime. People are going to throw interceptions sometime. He's 41, yes. Do you expect him to be as agile as he was before? No. And he did. He got sacked, 3 or 4 times? 4 times. Mm-hmm. You're going to get sacked. He can't get – he used to be elusive. You remember that?
Yeah, that was one of his strengths.
Oh, my God. You better not rush on him because he would make you miss. I remember he made people miss at the goal line. Mm-hmm. You know that? Mm-hmm. Used to do a couple of moves and whatnot. But I don't know. I just think that's the what-if game in the NFL just doesn't do anything for me. I just think there's too many circumstances or scenarios that you could do that. I just talked about it with the kicker Santos. If he kicks the field goal, you know what I mean, that might have changed the game, and you wouldn't be talking about J.J. McCarthy. We could just go on and on and on.
You're going to be shocked to know that I actually agree with your sentiment. Reason I say that is Aaron Rodgers, if for nothing else, if one thing you could say about his career, he's not a turnover machine. Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over for, call it 20 years now, however long it's been officially. So I'm not overly worried about him in the turnover machine. I mean, last year I think he had 11 interceptions, which is high for him given the history. Secondly, the man is 41. If there's going to be a slight decline, it's going to happen to a 41-year-old. So I don't expect him to look like 28, 27, 30-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So I'm okay with that. And you got to make plays to win. Now, what I would be more interested in is a conversation of what he was started with when you talk about the pressure. And we saw it. Now, Caleb Williams is nowhere near the career of Aaron Rodgers. But what pressure does, right? Pressure when you get to a quarterback. I'll give you an example. Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the highest, most efficient quarterback when he's not pressured in the NFL the last couple of years. When he's pressure, Rob, he drops to 28th. So when you can get pressure on a quarterback, they change. Some of the best can handle it. Some of the best can see it in advance. And so I will be interested to see, as we mentioned, if teams can get pressure on Aaron Rodgers, say, hey, to your point, he used to be really mobile. He's not as mobile as he used to be. Still maybe trying to check that Achilles. I know it's been a year plus. Let's get pressure on him. We'll see how he handles that. Also, I'm looking at this. Can the Steelers, more than Aaron Rodgers, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be efficient. Do I think he's going to throw 4 touchdowns every game? No. Do I think he's going to have horrid games? No. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be efficient. Can they get a running game to support him? Because if
they get a running game, they're going to be in business.
I worry about that because they didn't have a running game last year, and they had bigger backs. They had Harris. They had ability to run. That's what we kind of had banked on the Steelers. If they can't get a running game, and you put Aaron Rodgers in a position where you're down and he's forced to pass, now here comes that pressure because pinning our ears back, we're going at him. We know he has to pass. I don't think Aaron Rodgers can go and win you games. So
why didn't that happen against the Jets? Because they weren't running the Steelers weren't running the ball.
Right.
So why couldn't they have?
Because the Jets, we talked about it. In fact, it was one of the big points you always brought up. The Jets' defense ain't what we thought it would be. Last year,
it hasn't been for years.
And so my
point is,
they
did that like 3 years ago. Everybody thought, they got a Super Bowl
defense. I don't know
defense.
if they thought Rex Ryan was coming through the door.
But they haven't been good for a couple of years.
So that defense on paper, you hear the Jets and you just think of defense. They haven't been good. They haven't been great. So Aaron Rodgers took full advantage of that, as he's capable of. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And also, if I'm the Steelers, I'm looking at this schedule, Rob, and I'm saying, listen, an NFL game is hard. I don't care who you're playing. But dang it, we got a decently favorable schedule. You got the Seahawks. You're hosting them. They're not world beaters. Then you got the Patriots, again, not world beaters.
3-0.
And then you go to the Vikings. I would expect that to be a difficult one. Could be a loss, but that's a tough game. Browns, defensively, they're going to be solid. They're going to be good. But you'd say we got a chance. It's going to be a divisional game. Myles Garrett's going to go crazy. But you feel like we got a shot in that one. And then you got the Bengals following that. So, again, defense is not great. You could maybe put up some points. Finally, you go to the Packers. Then you go to the Colts. My point is they've got a stretch where if they can find a way to get a running game, defense can be what it's supposed to be, because you're not supposed to let Justin Fields go crazy on you, and that offense running the ball as well, almost 400 yards. They can have a decent start. So that's how I would be viewing these things if I'm the Steelers. Now, again, they can't be behind because I don't believe Aaron Rodgers is built to come from behind at this stage of his career.
Were they behind in the Jets game?
Actually, don't remember the.
They were down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I don't think he is built to do that for a sustained season. I just don't think that's fair to ask of him at 41 years old.
But they were down 2 touchdowns on the road.
Right, and I don't think you can
with
sustain
no running game. No, nobody's saying you cannot go do that every night. But I don't think anybody is.
They got the fumble kick return and got the ball back for them.
It's called football.
Yeah, right. So what I'm saying is,
it doesn't mean that you're going to get a touchdown.
They have to be able to use the clock up. And again, I think he is going to be, at best, a really good game manager, which is perfectly fine for how they view themselves.
I think he's better than a game manager. He can still throw the football. Game manager means you just.
I think it's exactly what he is to me.
I don't think so.
No. Game manager is you can make some plays here or there. I don't need you to go for 380, 4 touchdowns regularly. Game manager is $180, 210. We move the ball, got a third down here or there. We obviously run the ball, but that's just you don't hurt us. You don't turn the ball over a lot. I think that can be a compliment if their defense is what they think it is, and they get a run game. His whole thing is not to hurt him. Russell Wilson started off white hot, then he started to be a part of the issue. Started to turn the ball over. Started to hurt them. Started to make air passes.
I thought they didn't run the ball.
They couldn't run the
year.
ball. That's what I'm saying. All these things because you can't put it on Russell Wilson at this point in his life. I don't believe you can put it on Aaron Rodgers this much where he is his career. So that's what I'm saying. If they're built to be him to be a glorified game manager, they can be all right. But I don't like their roster offensively right now. We'll have to wait and see. It's week 1. But I don't know if that roster is as good as they would hope it is going to be as they go down this season, throughout the season. But Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's going to turn.
We have a bet, don't we, on their win total? Right? We have a bet.
I don't even remember what the bet is.
Yeah, wasn't it? I said they'd win over 10 games. 10 games. I think that was the number.
I don't remember, Roger. We can find it.
We'll
I'm down with that bet, by the way, but I don't remember exactly what the bet was.
Yeah. It was a pair of Jordans, but we'll talk about it.
It wasn't a pair of Jordans. Don't try to sneak that on there.
It was Rob G. It was Jordans.
Don't put no Jordans on that.
Yeah.
You can put it on the line still. I'm down 0-1, and I'll still give you the Jordans.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, look, you see,
want to do that?
Now we could do that. We could do that, but it's funny. He didn't want to bet it before, and it's too late. You're going to wait till the season start to make a bet
on the Lions?
Yeah.
We already got a bet. The Wings.
No, I know, but you had a chance to make a bet.
No. I tried to do Jordans. You wouldn't do it.
No, you did not. No, we did not.
Do we have to?
No, we did not.
Bro, you want 2 microwave takes in one day?
No.
Do you want 2 in a day?
No. I did what? It's got to be a commercial break so you could go in and tape it.
Do you want 2 in a day?
Is that what you're doing?
That's the best part is all our stuff is on YouTube, too. So this stuff is shout out to YouTube, by the way. That stuff is already there. I wanted to put some Jordans on that. I was confident about the Lions making the postseason. I wanted to put some J's on that. You wouldn't. Now I got to just give Louisiana a rub.
We made
hot honey wings.
I gave you a Jordan's bet. Let's make a Jordan bet on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Lions.
Why? You said that you don't think they're going to.
Because you're emphatic about the Lions.
No, but why won't you make that bet?
Because I'm emphatic about the Lions making the postseason.
You
are emphatic about them.
No, but you said that they made a mistake signing Aaron Rodgers, that they can't run the football.
They can't.
The defense. Why wouldn't you take that 10
I'm not
wins?
emphatic about that one. I'm emphatic about the Lions.
Okay.
That's the one I want to put some words on.
All right, 877-99 on Fox.
All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.